Thank you, TED team. Every great idea starts with a seed. And in fact, Chris Anderson, the head of TED, said, "Seeding an idea, I am convinced, is the most impact that's possible for an individual to have." And I totally agree with the great TED head. I would add that in this noisy, distracted world, when we only have a split second to capture someone's attention, clarity is essential. If we want our seeds to take root, find daylight, and blossom into their fullest expression, we need to show and tell our great ideas and not just sell them. So think about your ideas, your dreams. Are you so crystal clear you could draw them? And if not, what opportunities might you be missing out on? My love for strategic show and tell began in middle school. I was sitting at a long rolling lunch table at Albright Middle School. I'm not from around here. You'll notice the accent soon if you haven't already. I was getting tested for the gifted program. Yes, I am one of those kids. I pushed my crazy frizzy hair out of the way and adjusted my Coke bottle tinted glasses that looked like they belonged in the Sophia line of the Golden Girls eyewear collection. It had everything that I loved. Section 1 was all about words, word games, logic problems, spelling exercises, brain teasers. Section 2, pictures. Spot the difference. What doesn't belong? Find the hidden objects. And section 3, my favorite, pictures and words. Visual puzzles. You know those things that create new meaning when you combine shapes and words? My favorite t-shirt to this day has the word mind, and then a line under it, and then the word matter under that. For several years, all the way up to high school, I got a chance to learn from Mrs. Rivio, a 5'0" powerhouse of brainy awesomeness. She taught us critical thinking, conceptual learning, and the effective use of language. The word nerd in me loved it and loved her. Thanks to Mrs. Rivio, I've always had a fascination with the dance of words and shapes and how they make new meaning. And I use those same tools today as a brand and business crystallizer, which is just another way of saying that I created my own job based on my colossal nerdity. So as you will soon see, she is still fully present, alive and well, even under today's glam. So let's dive in to the magic of shapes as we seed our valuable ideas. So when is a triangle more than a triangle? Well, when it has information embedded in it. So yell out when you know what this is. Food pyramid, exactly. This, my friends, forecasted my sad, lifelong love affair with carbs. In my defense, I was given explicit permission by the US government to have up to 11 servings of bread, rice, cereal, and pasta. 11. I'm talking to you, Count Chocula. And totally unrelated, it was around that time when I started shopping at the Husky Girls section. I'm sure they had absolutely nothing to do with each other. And how about this triangle? This is the Texas Triangle. This doodle little dream created an airline called Southwest. And even on another TEDx stage several years ago, there was a speaker who shared his idea worth spreading using a flip chart, which I think we can all agree is just a cocktail napkin on steroids. He drew 3 concentric circles with 3 little words: why, how, what. You can almost see it in your mind, right? He called it the Golden Circle. He revolutionized leadership, and the video has a cajillion views. Maybe you've seen it. Shout it out if you know who I'm talking about. Any Teddies out there know who I'm talking about? Simon Swoon Sinek, yes. Simon broke down a complex subject using something easily understood, using 3 little circles and 3 little words. How do we become great leaders that inspire action? Simon says, start with why. Brilliant. And another dear friend of mine who is here today, she told me that she used a model when she served in the U.S. Navy. Marlo was a lieutenant commander and social worker who traveled to the bases in Afghanistan, combat veteran, who trained the personnel on how to keep a cool head when things got hot. Think instant mental first aid for combat troops. And at the end of her training, she would hand them these little laminate cards that had the combat and operational stress first aid model on it. And when she told me this, I lost my mind completely. It's a beautiful model. It has movement in it. It has fire red to indicate a start of the incident, and it traverses down a C-shaped model all the way down to a pastoral green resolution. And in the middle of that, as you will notice, it has an astounding amount of alliteration. Navy medicine even nicknamed it the 7 C's. So good. But it makes sense because alliteration is a sound pattern and our brains love patterns. So way to go, government, you did something super smart. Almost makes up for that food pyramid fiasco. But just as our brains love patterns, they really love pictures. So let's talk about the Picture Superiority Effect. Heck, it's even in the name. It's the study of how visuals are more easily understood and remembered than words. So let's just look at the numbers. 13, that's the number of milliseconds it takes for our brains to identify an image. 90 is the percentage of information that we take into our brains in visual format. And an astounding 60,000. This is how much times faster our brains process visuals over text. So here's what we know. Visuals will save us time. They help us to learn and remember more effectively. They engage us emotionally. They're just superior, hence the name. So it only makes sense that we use science to back it up when we share our ideas worth spreading, using those smart pictures. But we don't even have to draw it on paper if we can convey that same information physically, like I did with Simon's golden circle, and like I do every day, all day, as a crystallizer. I help people do 3 things: clarify, amplify, monetize, in that order. And I help other people do it as well for their businesses. Let me tell you a little bit about Cheryl Lynn. She is the founder and visionary of Joyly and her fabulous Chair of Joy. Cheryl now leads a global movement tackling our mental health crisis using 4 little words that we crystallized together as her foundation, like legs on a chair. Sit, breathe, think, feel. So simple a child could understand it. Or millions of them. Heck, I even suggest to anyone looking for a job or wanting to go for a promotion or even starting a new relationship, know yourself so well that you could draw your essence on a cocktail napkin. Which begs the question, what does the triangle, square, circle, or rainbow of you look like? Because in a world that is drowning in content, we need fewer words and more insight. We need to show and tell, and not just sell. Think about what would happen when we start communicating using these smart pictures instead of the endless blah, 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 blah that only fills the noise. We would, again, save time, yay. We would eliminate confusion, and a confused mind doesn't buy. We would maximize adoption, getting folks around our way of thinking. We would collaborate more effectively. We'd go to market faster. We'd create better results. We'd, cha-ching, fundraise more easily. This is exciting, is it not? It is for this colossal nerd. It makes me positively hopeful because I start thinking about all these potential cocktail napkins out there. Cocktail napkins that organizations that are doing important work could use. They could have crystallized visuals to talk about their real solutions to the real problems that we are all facing, and certainly our children and our grandchildren will face. Those smart pictures could get them noticed and acted upon, understood. But even if you don't want to save the world and you just want to make your own just a little bit better, having cocktail napkin clarity is a game changer. Imagine knowing exactly what to say in any future opportunity, from a friendly conversation to a formal presentation to first dates. All you need to do is just get out a pen and doodle away. Okay, for the first date scenario, maybe only doodle your brilliance in your mind. They're awkward enough as it is. We don't need you busting out the AV, okay, Sparky? But imagine never having to write, memorize, and deliver another awkward elevator speech again in your life. Can I get an amen on that one? Amen! But best of all, having cocktail napkin clarity allows each and every one of us to shine our lights as brightly as possible in this dark, dark world. And that's the whole point of the whole dang thing anyway. There it is. There's that Midwest accent I was warning you about. You darn tootin', and the more excited I get, the more it comes out. But it's not just enough to shine our lights, as they say. We need to strategically shine them using a transport mechanism like a cocktail napkin or a dry erase board to connect our brilliant lights to all the other amazing humans who can take action upon them. Bonus points if it gets there 60,000 times faster. Because opportunities happen in the most unexpected of places, do they not? Airplanes, potlucks, heck, even TEDx events. Those opportunities open and close swiftly. Will you be ready when yours opens? Because when it comes to activating our dreams, making them real, we may not have access to the fancy demo platforms or the snazzy PowerPoint. Heck, even getting the ever-elusive Wi-Fi to function can require Herculean efforts, am I right? We can't rely on high tech, but we will nearly always be able to find a cocktail napkin somewhere. And in that spirit, we have cocktail napkins for each and every one of you today to share your brilliance with each other. Take a couple of them, doodle away. Use 3 to 5 words, simple shapes, 7 to 9 words if you're feeling super chatty. But no sentences, no catchphrases, no acronyms, just the crystallized essence of your brilliance. Bonus, this technology, it's scrunchable. You can shove it in a pocket, a purse, cleavage in a pinch. But here's the rub. Crystallization is a sport that's best played in pairs. We really can't see the label from the inside of the bottle. And on this day, on this red dot in front of all of you beautiful people, I have got a heart so full of gratitude for Mrs. Rivio, for seeing that nerdy little golden girl who couldn't recognize her own brilliance yet. Thanks, Mrs. R. She'd be so proud of me right now, it'd be ridiculous. Way to go, way to go! Just like IKEA gives us these cute little pictures to give us clear instructions, at least most of the time, reminding us that in order to do the heaviest lifting, certainly physically, but also mentally and strategically, and certainly emotionally, we can't do it alone. And AI is just not going to cut it. We need human to human, heart to heart, connection. Real connection. Because if there is one thing that I've learned about being a crystallizer, it is this. I believe that we are all divinely designed to reach our fullest potential only when someone else, someone who genuinely cares, sees us, understands us, supports us. So who is seeing you? I hope tons of people. I hope tons of people are seeing you. So doodle those dreams, dadgummit, because we can do this. We can do this. We can save the world one little cocktail napkin at a time. Will it be yours? Thank you very, very much.